Hello everyone, this is Joseph K. Welcome back to more Let's Play Tales of Arise. In the last part, we escaped from this Zion Mines, I think is what it was called. Yeah, the Zion Mine Tunnel. We escaped from the Zion Mine Tunnel, and now we have to make our way to the next safe house that we have that Zephyr has. And we're also got to try to find a way to take out Lord Balseph. Now, since last time, I went and I claimed all my unclaimed DLC, so if you look at this, I now have gold and all sorts of other things I can play with. Art settings screen. You can assign arts that you've learned to each of the different buttons. You can set 3 arts to use while on the ground, plus additional 3 arts in the air for 6 total equipable arts. L2 or R2 to inspect press L2 or R2 to inspect the arts you have available. Characters that are set to auto can use all of their arts, but you can press square to uncheck arts you wish them to avoid. You can also cast healing arts from this screen as well. Now, this right here lets you know that this is an attack that will bust them up in the air. And this one will slam them down. Now, I don't play with, I almost said Tyr, but no. Unlike Tyr, Shionne's actually a good character. I don't play with Shionne ever. But let's go over the menus here for a second before we get into this, since I really haven't had time to do this, and we actually didn't have access to all of our stuff before. Strategies determine how your party operates in combat. On the strategy screen, press triangle to view details about each strategy and adjust them. Up to 4 strategies can be saved. During battles, open the menu and press triangle to switch between them. Party members fight autonomously, but their use of recovery support arts and items are determined by your strategy. In the detailed settings screen, you can set how they act at various conditions, while the top action receiving highest priority. Items can only be used on the character that you currently control. To do so, open the menu, select an item, except for the items that revive them from a KO, your controlled character will never use items automatically without permission. So I actually, remember in the last part I was talking about, I don't even know how to, finesse this? Well, here it is right here. That's kind of cool. So, if you wanted to fine-tune your actions, you can do it like this. And they will do it in order of what's up here. And as far as situations go. That is really cool. Now, over here, we got the field guides information. This is where we can track all the stuff about our enemies. This will also, as you can see, tell us weakness and resistance, how much HP they have. Now, unlike other Tales of games, it does not change the HP they have if you increase the difficulty. At least it didn't seem that way to me. And I actually think it will tell you what items they drop as they drop them. And then each of these have a little biography about them. So that's pretty nice. If you're interested in all this, I probably will not be checking these after every enemy. Now, artifacts confer special effects simply by having them, some of which serve as bonuses that can be enjoyed after clearing the game. You can toggle you can toggle each of these effects on or off from the artifact list. And as you see here, I got 10% general store, 30% off general store, which I think will drop off to 40% in the general store. 50% off engraver. We will get to that later. More experience. More SP. And right now, this is what we got right here. So, unknown and very easy difficulty came with the dawn of the... It was a free... If I'm not mistaken, it was a free update with the dawn of the new age or whatever the heck it's called. Dawn of the New World. Something like that. So that came along with it. But this other stuff is regular stuff. Now, of course, this will be moot later, but by the time you guys see this, because I actually changed my mind, I'm going to record 25 episodes. That will take me into November. And then I'll be good all the way through the first week of November. Let me know if you want me to turn these off. I'm probably going to leave all this on, though. Minimalist weapon forging to save on materials. Minimalist cooking to save on items for the recipes. And eventually, it might get to the point where I just have so much that it wouldn't hurt to do that. But yeah, alright. You also notice it says 0 out of 23. There are 23 artifacts that we could get in-game. I believe it was required to get all of them, if I'm not mistaken, if you want to go ahead and get a platinum trophy. Activity records is where you can check your main story and subquest progress. It also lets you view the rewards you get for finishing subquests. You can access these records directly by pressing left on the directional pad. We don't have any subquests yet, but we will be getting them soon enough. Play records. This will tell you... No. This will keep track of various things in your area. So there are 185 treasure chests. There are 320 skits. 70 subquests. 500 items. That's different items, by the way. 264 pieces of equipment. You can make 103 different weapons. And all this is basically standard. Anybody who's been longtime fans of the Tales of series know what this is. The one thing this doesn't do, though, is put the trophy icon next to what you need for trophies, unlike other Tales of games. All right. I think that about covers this right here. Oh, yeah, by the way. Also, since last time, you see I have some items. All these items came with me when I downloaded all the DLC stuff. Now, you may notice now that, technically speaking, I could increase my weapons strength, but I'm actually not going to do that yet. Mainly because I want to play this as if you did not have the DLC weapons. If you did have the DLC weapons, you would not have been able to get all this stuff. So we will get the weapons as we upgrade naturally. Same with Shionne. So yeah, those are all the new stuff we got. You can change outfits. I'm going to hold off on doing this, at least for a little while. Because, well, we got to keep Iron Mask with his mask on until the point where he takes it off, if that ever comes. Now, I don't like attachments. That's simply like little things you can add to your characters. I don't like it. I kind of find this a little stupid, but that's just me. You can also change what your weapon looks like when you fight, or when you're on this screen right here, by going to the weapon skin. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let that stay for all the characters. And I think that about wraps all that up. All right, well, let's see what we got going on here, shall we? Got to find a way to take down Balseph.
Be careful. If you get close to a Zoogle, they'll attack.
Oh. Well, thank you for that, Zephyr. All right. Changing controls during combat. Summary. During combat, press options while in the menu to change your character's control mode. Semi-auto automatically moves until in attack range. Manual full control auto fights based on set strategy. Semi-auto mode is designed for players who only wish to casually dabble in combat. Meanwhile, manual mode is for those seeking full control, while auto mode lets the game take the reins. Now, as I said, either in the prologue episode of this, episode 0, or in one of the other 3 episodes, I will not be using auto mode for this playthrough, except maybe when we go to what constitutes as the Coliseum in this game, because I'm not that good with the other characters and I really don't want to take the time to figure out how to use them. My goal is just to show off 100%. It's not to max out my affinity with all the characters. So basically what that means is I'm not going to try to master all the characters. It's just not going to happen. All right, now we have HP.
You're surrounded. Just stay calm. Don't let them form a pack. I'm on it. You're finished. Freezing storm. One final push. Right. Give them all we got. Rising Wyvern. How's this? I'm sure I can put this to use.
Throughout the game, we will get guest characters, kind of like what Zephyr is. However, I will say, it's not a spoiler really, I will say that they don't really utilize that to the full effect as I feel they should.
Don't fight any enemies you can otherwise avoid, alright?
Makes sense. If we try to take them all on, there'll be no end in sight.
You sure won't hear me complaining.
Let's take this guy on. This is a new enemy. This is a golem.
I'll take you all on.
Cyan instant!
I'm on it.
Here, let me help.
Golems have a little orange spot.
Circle and bring them down.
If I can target it.
None shall escape my judgment.
Take this. No escape.
Ray! Here's a healing art. First aid. Here
I'll
I
run
go.
you through.
It's over.
That is coming. Talon storm.
Well,
Our work is done here. Let's move.
it wasn't allowing me to target it like I wanted it. We actually do want to fight those guys. As you saw, he dropped the stone fragment. We're going to need those for later. Not so much right now, but definitely we're going to need them later. Anyways, come over here, climb that ladder, and come over here to get a mining spot.
What a weird
Now,
stone.
I sense a strange power from it. We should gather as many as we can find.
I call them mining spots throughout my guide that I do of this. Little treasure chest over there. You do not take fall damage. In the instance where you can fall from a very, very, very high height, you're fine. Your character will just react to you throwing them off a cliff. But anyways, come over here, we get 3 life
Seems
bottles.
You found something good. Supplies like that are valuable. Never overlook them.
Got it. I'll remember that.
But yeah, it's just funny, like, if you throw a character off the, So, oh, by the way, I'm getting sidetracked because I have that ADHD thing. Basically, what I have decided I'm going to do, unless you guys say otherwise, 1 week I'm going to go and do Iron Mask. I'm just going to play as Iron Mask in every episode. He's giving my overworld character. Next week, from episode 6 to 10, I will be playing as Shionne. And that's how I'm going to do it, unless you guys have a preference. Now, even though I don't like the attachments, if you really want me to put them on, I guess I will do it. I think they're kind of stupid, but I get them more to collect them. I mean, a lot of people like dressing up their characters like that. It's not my thing. I don't like the cosplaying. I'll be honest, viewers. Anyways, come over here. Let's get a cutscene.
Let's stop a moment to catch our breath.
But I've barely worked up a sweat.
Speak for yourself. What do you want, a medal? Doesn't look like we're being followed. Fail to grab these rare moments of quiet when you can. You'll end up regretting it later.
You're the boss.
Alright, resting at a campground will restore your party's HP and CP. While resting, you can watch skits and cutscenes that you've previously viewed. What it doesn't tell you is you can watch skits that you may have missed.
Normally, we should take turns standing guard. But this first time, I'll watch over things so you two can rest easy.
I've never just sat and watched a fire like this before. It's surprisingly soothing.
Well, aren't you getting comfortable? You realize there are still Zeugles prowling around out here, right?
Ah, don't be a spoilsport. It's important to let your mind and spirit relax. Does you a lot more good than you might think.
See, one thing I wish they would have done differently is when they have the characters speaking like they do at rest stops like this, I would have liked it if they actually animated the mouth moving like they're doing here and actually focus on the character that was talking instead of just panning around between all the characters. Anyways, let's watch Zephyr's training.
Zephyr, why aren't you concerned about who I am?
You feeling left out, son?
No, it's not that. But...
You said you wanted to fight so that you can live a free man. At this point, that's all that matters. Even if it somehow turned out you were a Renin, it wouldn't be such a big deal.
A Renin?
Until we know who you are, we can't rule anything out. Besides, we've already got Shionne with us. At this point, what's one more Renin as long as they're on our side?
So you don't see every Renin as an enemy?
Our goal isn't to hunt down and kill all Renins. We only arm ourselves as much as we need to set ourselves free. If you can believe it, not every Dahnan agrees with what we're doing either.
Are you saying we have enemies among the Dahnans?
Not quite. They're just not up for rebelling, per se. The thing you have to remember is that everyone has their own path to walk.
I'm not sure I understand.
That's okay. Just focus on what we have to do right now. However, the time will come when you'll need to decide what to do for yourself.
How come you don't have a scar on your hand?
A scar? What do you mean?
The Crimson Crows all tore off their own spirit cores, right? But your hand doesn't show any signs of ever having a core like theirs. Why not?
I don't know. I don't remember anything about myself from before Doc found me.
Seriously? You have that mask, you don't feel any pain, and you just happen to know how to fight with a sword? No way. You must remember something.
I'm not lying if that's what you think. Believe me, I wish I knew who the hell I am. But I don't. It's funny how I didn't have any time for soul searching while digging up rocks in a mine.
Still,
Are you saying you've told us everything about yourself?
Zephyr.
It's bad manners to pry when you've got plenty to hide yourself.
You're not gonna ask me about my past, too?
Only when I think it's necessary. You're a real man of mystery, I'll admit. That said, I'm not one to dig around in someone's business just out of curiosity. If you remember something and feel like sharing, you're free to do so. For now, I think that's good enough.
Right. Thank you.
And let's get the last skit.
So this whole you not feeling pain thing, is that for real?
Why would I lie about it? And why would you care anyway?
No, it's just, you know, I can't imagine what it's like, that's all.
As a slave, I'd say it has its advantages and disadvantages.
Oh?
On the upside, when Renan soldiers push me around, I hardly flinch. The downside's that I get injured without even noticing. Which means I could be knocking on death's door and not even realize it.
Really?
Sure. I may be numb to pain, but that doesn't make me immortal or anything. Still, I wouldn't have noticed any of this if someone hadn't pointed it out to me. If not for my fellow slaves, I'd be long dead, lying in a ditch somewhere.
Alright, that's all. Now I'm going to go check up the skits. Yeah, you should have 6 skits right now. Now, let's go over this. This will show you all the animated cutscenes we've seen up to this point. There are a lot of animated cutscenes in this game as opposed to, like, other Tales of games. And that's one of the things I love about the Tales of games. Also, if you had any downloadable content, you didn't do it the way I did, you could check your downloadable content here. Well, let's rest up.
A Master Core, huh? Now I see. So that's why Balseph's cronies were so desperate to catch her.
Is that what it's called? The jewel in her chest?
Oh, right. You don't remember a damn thing, do you? Fair enough. Guess it's time to fill you back in. Tell me, you ever wonder why we Dahnans are made to work ourselves to the bone, day in, day out?
Well, when you put it like that, I always just assumed we were mining resources for them.
And don't you think it'd be quicker if they used all that high-powered tech they have? Why go to all the trouble of relying on weak human labor? Listen, what the Renans are really after isn't resources or minerals. It's astral energy. They're harvesting the astral energy that sleeps inside all matter in life forms. And they're doing it the same way they have for the past 300 years, using us Dahnans as mere siphons.
Right. They have machines for minerals, but extracting from Dahnans requires spirit cores. Any astral energy collected passes through a spirit vessel on its way to being stored in a master core.
But why go to the trouble of collecting all this energy in the first place? Do they really need all that juice just to use astral arts?
It determines the Sovereign.
Sovereign? Is that the Renan ruler?
Exactly. 5 lords, each doing whatever it takes to gather as much astral energy as they can and store it in their master cores. Whichever of them manages to accumulate the most power at the end of their contest is crowned the ruler of the Renan motherland. A new crown contest, as they call it, is held every decade or so.
So you see, the Master Cores are the receptacles in which the Lords store their power. And we Dahnans are sacrificed, so the Renans can choose their new ruler.
That's insane! You're telling me that's what our people have been dying for this whole time?
Relax, hero. You're not the only one who's bent out of shape about the whole thing. There are 2 things that I haven't been able to get my head around yet. What business would a Renan have stealing a Master Core? And what's the deal with that blazing sword?
I think the sword is a physical manifestation of the Master Core's astral energy. As for why it took the shape of a sword, well, I don't know any more than you do. Honest.
And we're never gonna find out why.
And that stuff about needing your permission to use it? What was that about?
I'm the only one of us who can control the Master Core to some extent. Without me to adjust the flow of astral energy, the sword can't take a physical form.
What do you want out of this? You may be one of them, but you don't strike me as the ruthless oppressor type.
I'm going to take down all of the lords.
Never thought I'd say this, but I like the cut of your jib, Renan. Very well. As far as we're concerned, the struggle continues either way. And with that sword on our side, our chances of victory just increased. That is, of course, assuming we can count the two of you in.
Fine by me. After all, it sounds like we're after the same thing anyway.
Honestly, I'm still a little confused by all this. But if it's a choice between this or going back to being a slave, then I choose to fight.
Then it's settled. Together we'll overthrow the Renan lords. And first up on that chopping block is Balseph, the wild beast. Sound good?
What in the world? What was that? I did not ask for super technical head type port in my game. Thank you very much.
I've got to hurry.
What was that about, Shionne? You're not going to tell us, are you?
We have another secret hideout in Ulzebek, not far from here. We should be able to meet up with our comrades there.
Anyways, now that we got that scene out the way, let's get another skit.
Cut it out. Didn't anyone ever tell you it's rude to stare?
I know I already asked you this, but are you sure we haven't met somewhere before?
What's so hard to understand? I'm Renan, you're Dahnan. There's no way. Besides, I'm from Lenegis. Trust me, wherever you were before you lost your memory, we've never crossed paths.
Lenegis? You mean the same Lenegis that's up in the sky? I've heard it called the Renan's Castle, but I never imagined people actually lived up there.
Well then, where did you think we all lived? Didn't you see the Renan lords descend for the crown contest?
And how long ago was that?
Well, the current contest started 7 years ago, so...
Then I wouldn't remember.
Just how far back do you remember?
About a year, give or take. That's how long ago Doc found me.
1 year. Then no. I'm sorry, but there really is no way we could have met.
Guess not.
He does seem to be thinking she looks familiar. Huh. Well, I think this is a good place to stop. Will we be able to get to Ulzebek, and what hazards await us in our path? How much more treasure can we find? Find out next time on Let's Play Tales of the Arise. This is Tales of the Arise? Tales of Arise. This is Joseph K. signing out. Y'all have a great day and keep it real. Later.